Evelyn Rosenberg is a New Mexico-based artist who was born on March 28, 1948. Her birthplace is currently unknown. As a young girl, she loved art, especially drawing. She originally studied comparative religion at Hebrew University in Israel, but later switched paths and made the decision to pursue her passion and study art. Rosenberg moved back to America in 1966. Once she realized she wanted to pursue a career in art, she studied at Columbia University from 1967 to 1968. Here's where she met and married her husband, neurologist Gary Rosenberg, on February 12, 1967. She then transferred to the Rochester Institute of Technology to study printmaking from 1968 to 1969. Gary was drafted in the Vietnam War, causing the Rosenbergs to relocate to New Mexico. From 1969 to 1971, Gary was sent to the Sandy Base in New Mexico, and Evelyn followed. Here she attended the University of New Mexico and got her master's degree in lithiology in 1970. The Rosenbergs moved around a lot and found themselves back in Israel between 1971 and 1973. Evelyn taught at the University of Haifa from 1971 to 1979, and then moved to New York years later. Gary finished his residency at Albert Einstein School of Medicine, and Evelyn taught at Montclair University in New Jersey from 1973 to 1979. They eventually returned to New Mexico in 1979 and have been there ever since. Evelyn started her artistic journey painting murals and eventually discovered deathology. Her interest in comparative religion, mythology, and biblical stories translated into her artwork. She originally made prints and murals with Jewish themes. In 1985, explosive engineer Gideon Savan would introduce Evelyn to the concept of explosives. Gideon Savan had an idea that needed to be executed with explosives and art combined. He needed an artist to work with and discovered that his explosives and Evelyn's etching plates were similar. Savan quickly contacted the artist and enlisted her to help bring his idea to life. While helping to develop the deathology art process, Evelyn taught at the New Mexico Tech from 1985 to 1988. Since it was an engineering school, she taught history of technology of art. However, once she had the process developed, she stopped teaching. Each new art piece brings with a sketch of the idea. Then the plate is prepared using metal, foil, and other real objects. In some pieces, vintage textiles add their delicate designs. The design is transferred to a mold and covered with plaster. Then the result is ready to travel to the test range. The mold is covered with a prepared metal plate, then covered with a data sheet explosive. The explosive forces images of the objects and contours of the mold into the metal plate. Now it's time for a trip to the car wash to start cleaning up the sculpture. Then it is treated with chemicals and polished to develop colorful patinas. Although one would think that this process is very masculine, Rosenberg actually describes it as feminine. She compares it to giving birth because it's messy, chaotic, and potentially dangerous, but you get a beautiful, delicate result. Through sculpting, Rosenberg expresses psychological ideas that are continually inspirations for all of her forms of art. Themes of creation, disillusion, the universe, mythology, and comparative religion are present throughout her work. In the past 20 years, Evelyn has created more than 40 public art pieces. Her Scales of Justice piece is in the Courthouse Plaza in Albuquerque. This sculpture serves as a kinetic fountain. The Scales of Justice, made in 2004, is made of copper, brass, and stainless steel. Written on the side of the sculpture are 30 quotes written in several different languages and scripts on the subject of justice and the law. Another memorable and admired piece of Rosenberg is titled Tapestry of Time, made in 2006, and is a mural that was commissioned as a memory for Paul and Sheila Westone. The couple died in a small plane crash just week before the elections in the hometown of Minnesota, where Paul was running for his third term as senator. This stands at 93 feet long and contains 11 panels. The piece is located in the neighborhood house in St. Paul, Minnesota. She has appeared on The Today Show, Nighttime, NPR, BBC, and on Russian and Japanese television. In addition to her public art pieces, Rosenberg has also created custom pieces for people. Her pieces are all site-specific or personalized for the venue, community, space, or person. This way of working makes her artwork unique in both technique and installation. The personalization of Evelyn's work has made her a highly sought after and inspirational artist. In 2013, Evelyn published a book, Deathnology, The Explosive Art of Evelyn Rosenberg, showcasing not just her work, but as well as explanation about her explosive art from conception to installation.